Okay, this is part 3 of the series, and hopefully I'm not going over anything. Like I said, the SN and TF is the mental processes, and let's see, I'm reading how you perceive your world, how you perceive it to be, what you perceive everything is through the S or N, sensing or intuition. And I'm gonna look up. I know this is sound weird, but I'm going to look up if there is a personality type, or if it's more common, if it's not, I don't want to say normal, but common. Is it common that a certain personality type is more toward theism and theistic beliefs than non-theistic beliefs? Um, let's see. The how you make decisions is the TF dichotomy, and then I didn't write anything about JP. That's interesting. Oh yeah, I did. It's down here. The JP is basically concerned with your orientation from the outer world, and that's why with me everything has to be planned. If I don't plan it, I'm not gonna go. Usually, there are certain instances in my life where I was spontaneous, but a person has to be pretty darn special in my life if I'm going to do something spontaneous with them. Um, yeah, something like work, a job like work, retail does not work for me because it has a spontaneity about it. And I'm not talking about the duties, I'm talking about the hours that one works in retail. Does not work for me because I need so much structure, and I need that planning essence. I need to have it. And when I was in retail, um, one day I'd work 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. and the next day I'd work noon to 8. How do you plan anything on doing anything? How can you plan on anything if your hours continually change? You cannot plan for anything. And you say, yes, you can. You just plan around your work schedule. Yes, but usually if you want to do something like exercise, you're going to want to do that the same time every day, the same time every day, the same time every day. If you want to take your medicine, whether it's heart medication, thyroid medication, or some medication for a mental illness or depression, like an antidepressant or antipsychotic or benzodiazepine or something like that, regardless of what it is, you're gonna want to take it every time the same day. I mean, the same that backwards, didn't I? You're gonna want to take it every day at the same time. If you're on the pill and you don't want to get pregnant, you're on birth control. You're gonna want to take it 8 a.m. every day, or maybe your time is 4 p.m. every day. Well, guess what? If you're in retail, you may not be able to take that pill every single day at the same time. You'll be able to take it every day, but not at the same time. Because your hours will change in retail unless you plan on taking it when you know you're not going to work. Like, oh, you know what? The store doesn't open up until 8, so I'll take it at 7 every day. But that could create a problem if the particular store you're working at is open till 11 o'clock at night or 12 o'clock at night. I don't know what kind of store that would be unless it's like an adult bookstore or something like that. But, we're all adults here, hopefully. And hopefully I could say something like that. But, you know, face it, there are stores that do stay open. Let's see, Food for Less stays open here until midnight. They used to be 24 hours, but now they stay open until midnight. So if you get off at midnight, or if you're a manager, and you get off maybe a little bit later, like 12:30, because you need to do some managerial duties, you're probably not going to be getting up at 7 a.m. in the morning the next day. I mean, they could ask you to come in, and I've had jobs like that where they ask you to come in at 6 a.m. when you get off at 7 p.m. the night before, and you're like, what? There are jobs out there like that, but more than likely you're not going to be getting up at 7 a.m. if you get off at work at 12:30. And that's the issue that I have with jobs like that in retail, because there's no structure. It's flip it. It's like, okay, we need you here. Okay, we need you there. Okay, we need you there. You're all over the board. It's like, what? Give me some freaking structure. 7 to 3:30 every day. If you want me to 7 to 3:30, I'll do it. If you want me 10 a.m. to whenever, I'll do it. But making sure the same thing every day. And that's the J part of me. And maybe perception type people can work in retail. Maybe it's okay for them. I don't know. But for me, I cannot do that. And that's the whole part of the outer world orientation. Excuse me. I didn't even say anything about the what the I and the E is. It's just basically how you get your energy. Where do you get your energy from? Other people or yourself. And I read from what I read in the IE dichotomy is that introverts tend to be more deep thinkers, and they want depth and not breadth. And I don't know. I'm not sure about that. I don't know. And then that's like saying, oh, you're an extrovert, you don't want to have deep conversations, huh? Um, but I know that I do need to be by myself. Okay, now let me get into me. Yeah, my T and F score changes based upon the situation, and it's interesting how I don't know which one's which. I'm not sure because I've taken it the Myers-Briggs. I try to take it the fake one, not the real one, the fake one. I try to take it on similarminds.com probably about every 2 to 3 months just to see if it changes. And I keep on coming out ESTJ or ESFJ. And the last 2 times I took it, it was ESTJ, and it was on 2 different sites. And I was like, well, you know what? I don't know. Maybe that's my ideal type, and maybe I'm really a ESFJ. But then I started thinking, well, wait a minute. Maybe I really am an ESTJ, but my ideal type is ESFJ. Because I have a perception that thinkers are not gushy, feely people, and that's not always true. It's just because you're a thinker doesn't mean you're a gushy. Just because you're a thinker and not a feeler does not mean that you're not a gushy type person and feely type person. And just because you're a feeler doesn't mean that you're all emotions and no brain. So I'm not sure which one I am more, but I notice it goes back and forth. And let's see, I don't have that much time on my video here. Yeah, the ESTJ states that I have a natural tendency to lead others. I'm a good problem solver. I monitor processes to ensure that I get things done correctly, and I'm thorough in my approach. And this is true. I often act too quickly, and I prefer to work with the status quo, and I can be impatient with others that do not follow given rules or given what standards or whatever. And my leadership style is based upon experiences. I go off experiences. The 3 words that come up with ESTJ are dependable, organized, and decisive. I think that's about it, guys. I'm coming to the end of this, so I'm going to try to go into the next inventory for you.